Very good morning to all the viewers and listeners of Hello Kolkata podcast, Kolkata Calling podcast series. Today is our 43rd episode. And like every Sunday, we try to bring a very special guest from the city to share their journey, to share their experience with our viewers and listeners. As you can tell, it's been 43 episodes. We've had some fantastic guests, and today also we have an equally wonderful gentleman who will be joining us today shortly. So without further ado, let me introduce our guest today to the Hello Kolkata podcast. Today we are joined by Mr. Amitabh Roy. Now the introduction I'll try to keep short because it can actually become very long. But Amitabh Roy is currently the CEO of a company called Codelogicx. He's also the founder of a company called TeamTrace. He's also the founder of a company called The360. So three different ventures in three different areas Amitabh is managing today. You can call him a serial founder, but as the headline suggested, he is a first generation entrepreneur who has built a global product company headquartered right out of Kolkata, which makes us all extremely proud to have him on as our guest today. So without further ado, let me please bring in Mr. Amitabh Roy to the main stage. Amitabh, very good morning and welcome to the Hello Kolkata podcast.
Sure. Thank you, Shobit. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me in your this session. Yeah.
Amitabh, we had connected on LinkedIn a while ago, and it was great to see, Codelogicx doing such fantastic work. TeamTrace, newly founded, doing fantastic work. Before we get into the companies and all the wonderful work that you and the team is doing, uh, for the benefit আমাদের listeners, viewers এর জন্য একটু পিছনে যাচ্ছি, back in time.
Sure.
To understand a little bit about your early days, your growing up days. You grew up in Assam. If you can tell us about your background, your early education days,
Sure.
and then navigating those early days, then we'll come into the entrepreneurship aspect of your life. So over to you,
Uh,
sir.
so I was born in Kharagpur actually. So my
Oh,
ancestral home is in Kharagpur. My father used to work in Manipur. So right after class two, I was from class two. I was in Manipur, and my uh, entire education years until completion of post graduation was between Manipur and Assam. I was schooled in JNV Kumbong. It's a residential school. Then I went on to do a graduation in physics from Kachar University in Silchar, and then I did my post graduation, which is MCA from Jorhat Engineering College. So the idea was I did my graduation, and then the idea was whether I should go for this IAS bank PO exam or so. My parents wanted to go that way because they like the IAS, IPS, all these things. But I was more into computers because during my childhood, my father used to take me to his school. Actually, they had this computer with this 8-inch floppy disk, and we could kind of play games there. That was, and they had this basic programming language thing there at that time actually. তো yes, গ্র্যাজুয়েশনের পরে আমি এমসিএ করলাম, and then after MCA, that was from Jorhat, and then I decided no, I have to come back to Bengal. I have stayed out enough, so I need to kind of come back, and I want to start my career here. Now I had the option to go to Bangalore or Delhi, like most of my friends went, but I was pretty much decided I'll start here and see what happens, and if try to make the best of it, and if things work out, then fantastic. If not, then we'll kind of look for other options. That's how I came here and started. Yeah.
Amitabh, obviously you said your parents would have wanted you to go into civil services because Indian Bengali middle class family সেটা একটা সবসময় একটা
Mhm.
go to dream থাকে, but
Right.
you chose because of your love for computer science. uh,
Right.
and coming to Kolkata also is a little bit of a decision off the track কারণ যে সময়টার আপনি কথা বলছেন, at that time everybody was leaving. right? I'm sure your peer group, most of the people either left the city or they left the country. সেই সময় to take a decision, and obviously we'll come to the Kolkata aspect later, but সেই সময় to make this decision to start your career in Kolkata, সেটা নিয়ে যদি একটু বলেন। আর
Yeah, no,
তারপরে হ্যাঁ প্লিজ গো হেড।
no, go ahead.
সেটা একটা ফার্স্ট পার্ট। আর সেকেন্ড পার্টটা অবভিয়াসলি your early career did see some challenges, right in the middle of the global financial crisis, সেইখানটাকে ন্যাভিগেশনটাও যদি একটু বলেন, আই
Sure.
থিঙ্ক।
ওটা নিয়েও কথা বলবো তো। Yeah, like I came to Kolkata in 2009, and funny thing was সেই সময় আমার কাছে কলকাতার রেলওয়ে স্টেশন মানে হচ্ছে হাওড়া রেলওয়ে স্টেশন। I didn't even know that শিয়ালদা বলে একটা রেলওয়ে স্টেশন এক্সিস্ট করে। So, so it has been a long time since then, actually. So, yeah, I came here in 2009, and then I think one of the main reason was like I wanted to come back to my homeland. Like আমার ছোটবেলা থেকে একটা ফিলিং আছে যে like all Jewish people they go back to Israel, and all Bengali people should come back to Bengal because this is their identity, this is their motherland kind of thing actually. So that is somehow, since I have been outside from my childhood, and that was a kind of what we say the a notion I had or opinion I have for myself, like I have to go back and start things there, whether if it doesn't work out, then we'll explore other options, and that's it there actually. So I came here in 2009. আমার last final semester যেটা project হয় that was in NIC, that was in writers building. So I did my last semester project there, then went back, then again came back to Kolkata to find a job actually. At that point it was either the big companies like TCS and Wipro and Cognizant were there, or it was the small companies like some of the local businessmen, they have started it as a side venture uh, to just as a separate track, separate line of business actually. So Amar, I messed up badly during graduation, like আমার first class ছিল না during graduation in physics. So technically my options to appear in interviews in TCS and all these were blocked because they need like first class all across actually, and I did not have that. So that was one of the thing, and then I worked in these small companies actually, and I saw a lot of gaps, like where there was the intention, or maybe there was the intention to do good work, and sometimes there was intention just to make money actually. তো এরকম একটা সিচুয়েশন দিয়ে আমরা গেছি, and then there was this big companies, এখানেও আমার বন্ধুরা কাজ করছিল, বাট ওয়ার্কটা অতটা মিনিংফুল হচ্ছিল না। দে ওয়ার ডুইং দিস মেইন ফ্রেম ওয়ার্ক অ্যান্ড সাম অফ দোজ legacy IBM platforms in সেই সময়কার আর কি। So and so I worked as a programmer for 3 years in the small companies, and then the 2008 crisis hit actually. তো সেই সময় অনেক layoff হয়, and there was a lot of layoffs even in the small companies. I was working at that point of time. Some of my friends were laid off, but at that point I took a decision, like so a lot of people, some of the people I knew were already freelancing kind of thing actually. They were already freelancing, so I thought, no, this is the time I will take the step, and I'll go out. So somehow for me, I always take contrarian decisions, like I came to Kolkata when people were leaving. I decided to leave my job when people were clinging on to their jobs because of the downturn and all those things. And then I started freelancing. So there are a lot of online portals like freelancer.com, then your elance.com, where you could kind of bid on projects and get your work there actually. So those happened. So I did that for maybe a year and a half or 2 years before starting the company Codelogicx actually. So yeah, those were some of the tough phases actually, where you kind of leave your job and your parents are not very happy about it. and
আমি সেটাই জিজ্ঞেস করতে মানে আসছিলাম, মানে ইউ মেনশনড ইউ টেক কন্ট্রারিয়ান পাথস, বাট অবভিয়াসলি ফ্যামিলির একটা মানে সম্মতি বা অসম্মতি এসে যায়, তো হাউ ডিড
Yeah.
ইয়োর প্যারেন্টস রিঅ্যাক্ট টু ইউ ডিসাইডিং টু গো ফর ফ্রিল্যান্সিং?
So my so lucky for me is my parents were not dependent on me. In That's one of the thing that worked in my favor. Actually, my father, my mother, they had the pensions. My father had pensions, so they had we had our own home, so that was fine. They were unhappy, but they were not adamant.
Hmm.
Uh, so that was the thing actually. So that's how I started. Then there is a big decision again that I had to take, like sometime in 2008, I guess, like when TCS was hiring full stack developers or PHP developers around that time. So my friends said, like, this is for experienced guys. You have the experience, and I was just starting off the freelancing part, and I was making some money. But at the point, TCS was offering thrice X more money actually uh, to what I was earning. So that it was very tempting. Like I that I leave the current work and join TCS. But for some reason, I did not go actually because I was earning in hours. So my rates were in hours. So I could see, like, if I kind of continue on this path, continue building reputation, my relationship with the clients, this thing will grow actually. So I didn't join the company, and I started, I continued on my path, and the rest is, yeah,
The rest is
here
history. Uh,
here we are.
so,
Yeah.
Amitabh, so now sort of moving into this freelancing, you took that bold bet and you were doing consistent work. Uh, সেখান থেকে the decision to turn entrepreneur, মানে solopreneur is a common word now. So you
Hmm.
were anyway a solopreneur when you were a freelancer. But
Yeah,
সেখান থেকে to turn entrepreneur, register a company, start hiring people, taking office space,
that's
সেই
right. Yeah.
কারেজটা বা সেই মোটিভেশনটা কোথা থেকে?
That's a good thing, a good question actually. তো আমাদের সিচুয়েশন কি হয়েছে, like in West Bengal, like at that point of time, uh, especially where I used to say, so you have to get three things in order before you can even work, like the electricity, the internet, and the humidity conditions. Like it's in summer, it can become unbearable, and that's a practical thing. Like আমার যদি ইলেকট্রিসিটি ঠিক থাকে, আমার ইন্টারনেট ঠিক থাকে, তারপর হাওয়া টাওয়া ঠিক থাকে, then only I can work actually. Otherwise,
Hmm.
it's practically, you can understand, like it's unbearable. And I was working from home at that point of time. Yes, I was making money, but constantly electricity হয়তো যাচ্ছে, হয়তো ইন্টারনেট যাচ্ছে। তখন আমাদের এই জিও ফাইবার এগুলো ছিল না, that was local internet, local broadband. So I thought, no, this is not going to work. I need a proper workplace, like a professional workplace যেখানে গিয়ে আমি কাজটা করতে পারবো। মানে
Hmm.
যেখানে গিয়ে আমি হয়তো, like, just maybe just like an office, but I will go there by
তখন তো
myself.
কোওয়ার্কিং স্পেস আসেনি, কোওয়ার্কিং
কিচ্ছু
স্পেসে
ছিল
গিয়ে
না,
কাজ
কিচ্ছু
করতে
ছিল না। And I was looking to rent office spaces আর সল্ট লেকে, যেখানে আমাদের পাওয়ার রিলায়েবিলিটিটা অনেক ভালো, বেটার, and all the offices were over 1,000 square feet around that time. তখন এখানে স্মল অফিসের কনসেপ্টটা আসেনি তখনও। মানে তখনও আমাদের ম্যাক্সিমাম ওই বড় বড় কোম্পানিজদের জন্য 3,000 4,000 square feet minimum starting, and that point we are just starting. Then I somehow got a and I did not want to, আমার আগের থেকেই একটা পারসেপশন ছিল, if I will do it, I'll do it proper. I'm not going to rent a flat in Salt Lake, like a downstairs, and then the start office. Like, no, it has to be a commercial building with a DG backup. আমার DG backup থাকা দরকার যাতে আমার কাজটা ইন্টারাপ্ট না হয়, because that's why I am leaving my home to work at some other place. So that was one of the condition. So I got this like information that in Nagar Bazaar there is a building called Diamond Arcade, recently constructed, and all those things. And so I told my mother actually that I'm going to buy a unit actually, because there are no, like there are rents available. I'm going to buy it. So I went with my friend. আমি একটা 200 স্কয়ার ফিটের ছোট রুম, যেখানে 3-4 জন বসতে পারবে, ওরকম একটা রুম তে গেছিলাম। Then my friend says that Amitabh, you are going to grow bigger. তুমি এখনই ছোট রুম নিও না, তুমি আরেকটু বড় রুম নাও। তো I got a 400 square feet room that time. সো যেটা হলো আর কি, তখন তার আগেই আমাদের কি হলো, when you work you build a relation with the client, তো কি হয়, কাজের ভলিউমটা বাড়তে থাকে। And at a point comes where you cannot do it all alone, you need to have additional help. So আমি quicker add দিলাম like I need some developer to work with me, maybe full time, maybe work from home. So I had someone who used to come from home and work with me actually. And then after that happened, and then as I said, like I was looking for this building, and then I finally buy this unit in Diamond Arcade, 400 square feet office, and then I start the office. So again, like one of my friends suggested, you need to register as a private limited company right away, so that you can actually uh, finalize this as a business actually. তো ওয়ান আমার একটা লাইফের ইয়ে ছিল যে আই ডিড নট হ্যাভ এনি অ্যাডভাইজার। হোয়াট হ্যাপেন্ড, ইট ওয়াজ all through my friends and like neighbors. So in Diamond Arcade, there were these neighboring offices where they had this other business owners. So they helped me to understand and navigate the initial part of the business to some extent. So how to register the company. I did not know like what is a like a single person company or a private limited or a public limited company. So that happened. So yes, and then I registered Codelogicx Technologies Private Limited sometime in 2013, 4th March. And yeah, and our first balance sheet we closed there. Our first year turnover was around 25 lakhs.
Wow.
So yeah.
It's important যেটা বললে যে to find the right people to give you good advice, because early days when you don't have a lot of understanding of how business works, it is quite frequent you get taken for a ride by people who don't have the right intentions. But lucky for you, you had good neighbors, good friends who helped you. So in 2013 যখন Codelogicx was formally registered and as a company, and then you started hiring, the business started growing. You mentioned first year closing was at 25 lakhs. এই you had started now, এবার সেই স্টার্টটাকে যে গ্রোথে কনভার্ট করা, where you are getting more customers, you are building new products and services, you are growing your team, সেই জার্নিটা যদি একটু আমাদের
Sure. So when I started the company, so our first hire was Shushovan. He's still there with us actually.
Wow.
So আমি তখন ফার্স্ট ডেভেলপার হায়ার করি, that came through reference. First I then again I hired a office guy, like so I have this 400 square feet of office. I am coming daily and I'm working. আমি ডেইলি আসতাম, ওখান থেকে কাজ করতাম, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই। এসি ছিল, ইলেকট্রিসিটি ছিল, ইন্টারনেট ছিল। So my initial problem was solved, and now we had this company also incorporated, but I was essentially alone. So the first thing I did is to hire like a help peon so that for the office maintenance. And then I hired the first developer. ওটাও রেফারেন্সের থ্রু দিয়ে এসেছিল। সো আমি যখন কাজ করতাম, আমার যে যারা এক্স কালিগস ছিল তাদেরকে আমি রিচ আউট করলাম যে আমি একটা লোক করছি বা একটা ছেলে করছি যে জয়েন করবে। সো দে রেফার্ড দ্যাট। আমার ইনফ্যাক্ট ফার্স্ট 5 or 6 hires were all through like ex-colleague referrals through the SG আর কি। So that happened. And like as I said, আমাদের so the business, to be honest, grew all organically all the way until 120 people. Actually, we never even had a marketing person. Actually, it was all through referrals, all through invites. Like আমার কাজ ভালো হয়েছে, আমাদেরকে রেফার করেছে আর একটা কোম্পানি, তারা আবার আরেকটা রেফার করেছে। So if you look at that, like it grew organically, we grew organically from 1% to about 120 plus at that time, before we had a marketing team. So yeah, that's how it happened. And yeah, that's where we are now. Yeah.
And Amitabh, if you can sort of also give us a little bit of an understanding. Obviously, you went on to start multiple companies after that.
Yeah.
But Codelogicx এর যদি আমরা মানে কোডটাকে ডিকোড করি, if you can tell us a little more about the kind of products and services you specialize in, and the kind of customers you work with, that will also give us a good perspective.
So we started this company to help the startups.
Sure.
So Codelogicx was from initial point, it was a product engineering company, right? It was founded with the DNA of a product engineering company. তো আমার যেটা প্রথমে যখন when I started Codelogicx, আমার যেটা একটা ছিল যে উইল হ্যাভ দ্য বেস্ট অফ ওয়ার্কস্টেশনস, মানে আমাদের সেই সময় দুটো ডুয়াল মনিটর সেটআপের একটা প্ল্যান, তারপর হাই এন্ড পিসিস, সো উই হ্যাড অল দোজ থিং, উই হ্যাভ আ প্রপার প্রফেশনাল, ইট ওয়াজ স্মল বাট ইট ওয়াজ লাইক আ very very well equipped place actually. So we had that vision like আমরা ছোটভাবেও কাজ করলো but we'll do it a very proper way. So where we started off as a product engineering company around that time, and we used to help startups like startup founders across the world যাদের product engineering support দরকার, and then down the line cloud engineering support দরকার to help them আর কি. Then we also went into product design, and then আমাদের আরো additional like services, whether it's in mobile or whether it's in ML, এগুলো তো আমাদের পরে আসলো. Yeah. তো এখন আমাদের যেটা আছে, like as a business grows, we divide our clients into various verticals, customers into various verticals, industry vertical. তো আমাদের এখন healthcare vertical আর startups আর enterprise client maximum, like majority like Codelogicx এর healthcare এর একটা dominant practice আছে, healthcare vertical. তাছাড়া আমাদের logistics vertical একটা dominant vertical আছে, retail is again another dominant vertical we have actually. So these are the three major verticals that we work on. তাছাড়া আমাদের অন্য ancillary verticals আছে যেখানে আমরা definitely we work on. Yeah.
And Amitabh, obviously the journey from 1 person to 120-person company, clocking revenues upwards of 20 CR, a journey te, you've always, I mean, you said you never compromise on at least the infrastructure that you are giving yourself and your employees. But at any point of time, did you not think, go and let me go and raise some funds? You've always believed in that bootstrapping way to growth, or product first growth. So why that choice or decision?
So one of the reason was like to be practical and pragmatic. Like the question was, do I need to raise capital? That's the question. So by the way, we are 150 people plus now, and
Wonderful.
here. So the question was, what we do is we offer product engineering services, and one of the good thing about services is you get paid immediately actually. And that's why our cash flows were net positive year on year actually. And so the question then starts like, yes, we are expanding, and do we need to raise fund for what? The question comes of what. So we really didn't have any reason. Even now, where when we have our own products, like we have TeamTrace, we have 360, and 360 is by way competing with some very deeply funded VC companies. We can come to that later on. So still now we haven't decided like whether we should go on and raise money. So yeah, bootstrapping was ingrained because like due to my childhood, some experience like where everything like fundraising is like more everything is handed to you over on a plate actually, and then you have the funds. It's easy going life. That's how kind of sort of view it actually. And what we did is so I had this experience, so I know like bootstrapping, I have my own choice of freedom how I take this company forward. And like if I want to do like diverge from what I am doing now, I have the freedom to do that. And I wanted to retain the control with my core team members. Like we should be deciding what we want to do, not someone else actually. So that was the kind of deciding factor. And the biggest factor is of course the question whether we needed money or not. So we didn't need that at that point of time.
Uh, so Amitabh, this is fantastic to hear. Now, obviously, Jeta, we said we'll come to a little later, but a Kolkata, to be based out of Kolkata, it comes with a lot of preconceived notions by others who are potentially your customers or potentially your future hires or employees, or even the overall ecosystem where you operate. So, did you face any challenges to break this stereotype? ke kolkata থেকে একটা product engineering company bootstrap করে successful হচ্ছে, did you had to fight through those notions?
Yeah, the notions, there are some other interesting notions I'll tell you about actually. So
Okay.
that came on much later on. So we had this thing where we are located in Nagar Bazaar, by the way, like building the Nagar Bazaar. Actually. So whenever we used to call up a candidate for interview, so we were around 15, 20 by that time, like when we are well established and there, and we were calling up candidates for hiring. Hey, we are Codelogicx, we are a product engineering company. We are looking to hire engineers and developers, and this thing. So the first thing they used to ask is, where are you located? So whenever I would say like we are located in Nagar Bazaar, na আমি sector 5 এ যাব. So that was the thing actually. Then we changed our track. Like we would say, আমরা সল এই লেক টাউনের ওইদিকে located, but still
Okay.
that didn't work actually.
Mhm.
So people would still say like, no, I want to go to sector 5. That as if sector 5 was the place. So to be like now to answer your question, our clients never cared about from where you used to work. Whether we are working from Kolkata or Bangalore or Cochin or Hyderabad or any place in India didn't matter actually. As long as what mattered was whether we are doing quality work or not, whether we are being able to deliver it in time or not.
Mhm.
That's all that mattered. So that's the thing. And then the stereotype, like so the most of this negativity is I would say is so negativity festers here, like and again as I say, I kind of tend to think things like rationally. What are my strengths here? What are my weaknesses here? So in Bangalore, attrition, I know people who have changed company over 30 times in last 3 years. I know people's like that. So
Mm.
now, so that's there. So the question for me was, am I going to do myself a favor if I relocate myself to Bangalore or relocate my company to Bangalore? No,
Mm.
that's I don't think that's going to work in my favor, because product engineering needs long-term teams. If you see here in Codelogicx, some of the projects have people on the same projects since last 5 years, 6 years actually, and they know the product inside out actually.
Mhm.
Product engineering is a long-term commitment. At least you have to have some core people who are there long-term. So that was the challenge actually. So I kind of tend to rather think that as an advantage. I would say like I didn't take it negatively. Like so, what thing about Kolkata is not working? Like what thing? Like it's cheaper here. Transport is great. Like you have the bus service, you have the metro service, you even have a like a waterway service here. Transport, you don't you don't have like a water scarcity like Bangalore, like where you have water tankers supply water, or like when it's raining, like you don't get sunburst underwater actually. So those, I mean, I kind of tend to think from my viewpoint, like forget the ecosystem, what isn't there for me
Mm.
when I think of the city versus the other city actually. So I kind of tend to think around these things actually. So yeah, for me, even though there is negativity and all these things for me, I think my for Codelogicx growth, what is needed? We need some talents who are super focused, who believe in themselves. So one of the problem with the city is this city stopped believing in itself. Actually, that we
Mm-hmm.
can do world class engineering from here. That we can build out something impactful from here. And এখানে কিছু হবে না. So that mentality, if it's there, that's a problem actually. So you have to come out of that, and you have to see what you have actually, and you have to work on your strengths, not amplify your weakness. I mean, that's not going to like help you any day actually. So yeah, for my contrarian viewers, focus on your strengths, not on your weakness. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I think very rightly said. I think আমরা মানে Bengalis বা Kolkatans, we are the biggest critics of ourselves.
Yeah.
মানে even if we are doing something well, we will not focus on that. We'll always focus on the shortcomings.
Yeah.
And the moment we look at another city, another country, or another entity, we always tend to glorify their positives and overlook their negatives. সো এই
Yeah.
এই যে একটা র্যাশনালিটি, প্র্যাকটিক্যালিটি, এবং যেটা তুমি বললে, যেটা আমরা আমাদের মানে আরো গেস্টদের কাছে শুনেছি, যে যে আমরা নিজেদের নিয়ে এত আন্ডার কনফিডেন্ট, এত মানে কম প্রাইড নিজেদের অ্যাবিলিটির ওপর, নিজেদের কোয়ালিটির ওপর, যে আই থিঙ্ক দ্যাট ইজ প্রবাবলি হোয়াট ইজ হোল্ডিং দ্য সিটি অ্যান্ড দ্য স্টেট ব্যাক from really chasing excellence.
Yeah.
And Codelogicx is I'm যেটা বলে contrarian example to this mindset, যেটা তুমি আমি আপনি থেকে একটু তুমিতে চলে এসেছি,
Yeah,
হ্যাঁ,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
but it's a contrarian approach to believe in your abilities, to deliver quality work and let the work speak for itself, rather than all the other external peripheral factors. Born out of the global financial crisis, your early part of your career, you have a good run with Codelogicx. Then you decide to start another company, which I'm talking about, the 360.
right.
And I believe it's in 2018 that you started the 360. So when you
Right.
already have a good thing going and Codelogicx is growing, doing good work, again, to divide your attention and start a new company, how did that come about? What prompted it, and how is it going?
So it's not about starting a new company. It's more about building a product. আমি জিনিসটাকে ওইভাবে দেখিনি, like যে
Okay.
আমরা নতুন company, separate staff, separate employees, and on separate payroll. It's not like that. It's just about start building a new product. আমাদের internal
Solving
team,
and solving a problem.
solving a problem, just solving a problem actually. So
Sure.
it's all about solving a problem, and আমাদের নিজের internal development team আছে, internal যে আমাদের free time পাই. তো so how it happened, I'll tell you. So as I said, we were in Diamond Arcade, and that was a big investment for me at that point of time. The building a act office now, we bought it, and then that was a big investment for us at that time. So আমি যখন রাতে বেরোতাম অফিস থেকে, আমি দেখতাম যে সিকিউরিটি গার্ড ঘুমোচ্ছে অলরেডি অ্যাকচুয়ালি. So that was like a concern, like for me, like আমরা তো চলে যাব সবাই, লিফট তো সামনে প্যাসেজ ওপেন আছে, যে কেউ লিফটে উপরে গিয়ে যা ঢুকে যা কিছু চুরি করতে পারে, whatever, something can happen. So we wanted to develop an application which checks the alertness of the security guards. যে রাত্রে 10টার পরে র্যান্ডমলি কিছু একটা বাজ করবে, সিকিউরিটি গার্ড ওটাতে কিছু একটা এন্ট্রি করবে, ওটাতে যদি এন্ট্রি করে দেন দ্য অ্যাপ্লিকেশন উইল মার্ক অ্যাজ দ্য গার্ড ইজ অ্যাক্টিভ। আদারওয়াইজ যদি রেসপন্ড না করে, তখন ওরা অটোমেটিক্যালি সার্ভারে ট্রিগার করবে যে গার্ড নট রেসপন্ডিং, মে বি স্লিপিং, সুপারভাইজারকে চেক আউট করতে বলবে। সো দ্যাট ওয়াজ দ্য হোল আইডিয়া স্টার্টেড। কিন্তু that idea was somewhere around 2016. তো আমরা যখন ওটা স্টার্ট করি, the problem was that guards did not have smartphones, and like internet was not that cheap actually. তারপরে তো জিও আসে sometime around 2017-18 I guess, and things change actually. So at that point, when I again revisit that for our building, then some of the building owners say, "Hey, I stay in a gated community. Why don't you build this for our gated community also?" And then so we started only with the visitor management system around that time. তো আমরা গিয়ে কিছু মার্কেট অ্যানালিসিস করলাম যে আহ, কি কি আছে, whether it's going to work or not. So there were two companies around that time called Adda and Apna Complex. So they were actually, I would say, the precursors of what we started, what we have now actually. Though they are not.
Would MyGate fall in the same category?
Yeah, so Maggot No Brokerhoods are our major competitors. We will come
Okay.
to them later on. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but if you ask me the history of how
Sure.
these two companies were the which actually started this vertical kind of
Okay.
thing actually. So our product was focused more towards the security agencies,
Got it.
not towards the housing complexes. So it was more for the security agencies like সিকিউরিটি এজেন্সি যে সুপারভাইজার আছে তার কাছে একটা মোবাইল অ্যাপ থাকবে, যতগুলো যে সিকিউরিটি গার্ডস আছে তাদের কাছে মোবাইল অ্যাপ থাকবে। দ্য গার্ডস উইল অ্যাট দ্য নাইট দে উইল পাঞ্চ ইন টু দ্য অ্যালার্টস অ্যান্ড সিকিউরিটি যে সুপারভাইজার আছে সে দেখতে পাবে যে হুইচ গার্ড ইজ awake, which guard is not responding ও দেখতে পাবে। So that's the whole idea. And then we as I said, we put that to back burner, and then again when we started this, so there were already these products. So and there were customer requests like we want to do the visitor management system, we want to do the like তখন এই ডেলিভারি সিস্টেমটাও তখন স্টার্ট হয়েছে, এই যে গ্রসারিজ বা এই এগুলো এই
Food
আমাদের
deliveries.
ফুড ডেলিভারিজ বা এই মোস্টলি দিস ফ্লিপকার্ট ডেলিভারিজ গুলো স্টার্ট
Sure.
হয় তখন। সো অ্যামাজন ডেলিভারিজ গুলো স্টার্ট হয়। তো দিস ভিজিটর ম্যানেজমেন্ট সিস্টেমটা স্টার্ট হয়। তারপরে আমাদের কাছে রিকোয়েস্ট আসে যে অ্যাকাউন্টিং সিস্টেম আছে। ও মাই গড, অ্যাকাউন্টিং, আই ডোন্ট নো এ অফ অ্যাকাউন্টিং। সো we went in and we kind of figured it out, and then we did the accounting system. So yeah, so that's how we started the 360, and like we acquired a lot of gated communities when we started. So we made some mistakes, we learned from the mistakes, and now we are learning again. So and in 360 what's happening is we are competing with two heavily funded VC competitors actually. So now the question arises like let's say in your neighborhood there was a Rasgulla shop, the sweet shop. Okay.
Okay.
And you used to go to that sweet shop and used to pay money and get the sweet. Okay, you pay the money and they will give you a box of sweet. Now let's say some VC funds saw the opportunity that sweet is a big opportunity in Bengal. We can kind of dominate this market, and what they do is they set up two more sweet shops by your shop actually. Okay. And now what they do is they not only give you the sweets for free, they also pay you to have your sweets actually. So when you are not funded by VC, when you are bootstrapped, so you have to kind of navigate through these challenges actually. Now, so at one point of time, we were down to 7 complexes actually. At that point, like we were thinking like, এটা কি কন্টিনিউ করব, 7টা হয়ে আছে। So we had a really committed team members because they have been there we have so having one of the most important thing in startup is having very strong team members who depend on each other, trust each other. Even though I'm their boss, it's more like a friend kind of thing actually. So it's not a more of a boss and employee relation, more of a ki hocche tomar ki hocche. So it's kind of thing you have to have a very deep level of trust actually with each other. So we decided to continue to push on. Then এখন we are over in 50 complexes in Kolkata and now growing, and we launched in Bhubaneswar also recently. So আর এখন আমরা scale up করছি, so maybe by this year and we will go to up to 200 complexes. Let's see. So Yeah, bootstrapping takes time, and like especially when you are competing in a fragmented market actually. So, and we also learned couple of things. So there are conditions. So at the end of the day, what you are asking, you need to ask your purpose actually. Why am I doing this actually?
Hmm.
Monetary, am I solving a problem? Are there others solving the same problem? uh, Data, or what kind of thing actually. So I think we have, with 360 we have a lot of potential in a sense that we have raised zero funds yet actually, and we have, I would say, in India, pan India, we are among the top three products, product quality wise, maybe even the first or second. I can kind of, we can put things side by side and see in terms of product quality. So product engineering, we are certainly in the top three, I would say. Yes, customer base, we need to scale up.
And Amitabh, you mentioned obviously this the nature of competition, and it's a not a level playing field.
Yeah,
When you are, you are taking a different set of arsenal to the market. Others are coming with a different set of arsenal, like taking a knife to a gunfight types.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
what is the plan? Like, obviously, you want to scale. Your product has the proof of concept is established. It's getting good customer reviews. Uh, what is the next step for the 360 to break into the market and acquire market share?
So one of the thing is you have to have a great product.
Mm.
You have to have a 10x different product. That's something we are very good at actually. That's, I feel, our strength is actually. And one of the challenges I feel one of the challenges I have faced is so one part Codelogicx is growing dramatically, and one here 360 is their team trace. So my attention as a founder has been fragmented, like একবার
Yes.
এটা দেখছি, একবার ওটা দেখছি, একবার এটা দেখছি. So one of the thing I decided, না, এই তিনটের বাইরে আর কিছু না, মানে even এই তিনটেতে I told my guys in 360 and TeamTrace, guys, you have to act like co-founders. Otherwise, we are not going to do this. I have to shut
Mm.
this down. So you have to act like co-founders. You have to have high sense of responsibility. If this takes off, if we sell this, or if we make money, you're going to take a part of it. তো এইটাতে কি হচ্ছে, there's a high degree of ownership is there, because I told them, মানে এটা আমি একা ওনারশিপ নিয়ে চালাবো চলবে না, মানে তারপরে মেবি উইল জাস্ট ক্লোজ ইট ডাউন, তার থেকে বেটার, মানে ফার বেটার, এন্ড I want you guys to be a part of this, and we want to create a history here, where we want this to happen, and we have to make it happen here, because this will set a trend. This will
Mhm.
set a trend. This will set a path which has not been tried before actually. So they are very very committed on how we are going to do it. And we don't have a lock-in period like VCs, like এত বছরের মধ্যে রিটার্ন আনতে হবে, এত বছরের মধ্যে IPO করতে হবে. So we don't have like those kind of restrictions for us actually. So as bootstrap company, we can scale up, we can grow at our own pace, at our own will, and we can rapidly grow when we feel we want to actually. So I think those are the factors that will be working on actually.
Very interesting. Amitabh, we'll shift gears to now coming to the third uh,
Yeah,
company that you started. And I'm assuming, and I'm not assuming, I know that it also was born out of the need to solve a problem.
yeah.
So this was the post-COVID phase, and Team Trace was born. So if you can take us again, like a little bit about the origin, the motivation behind it, and then now how it's going today.
So yeah, I mean, team trace, it's interesting actually. So the idea was already during started during the COVID period actually. So we were one of the first companies to pack up our office and send everybody home, work from home. We sent their chairs also, like office থেকে আমরা অফিসের চেয়ার গুলো পর্যন্ত পাঠিয়ে দিয়েছিলাম গাড়িতে করে, so that they had this lumberback chairs back home actually. So one of the problem we're facing was this remote tracking people in a real time, what they are doing, what not, when they're online, when they're offline. So that was one of the problem we are having. And so we used to use some tools called Hubstaff, Time Doctor, and all those things actually. And On the other hand, we are using some project management tools, like we work on projects actually. So we are using Jira and we are using Asana and all those things. So the problem with Jira was that it's a good tool, but the problem is it was like kind of dated, and we are highly mobile, like mobile centric. Like we like
Yeah.
our guys want to do everything in mobile, give the updates in mobile, kind of communicate in mobile, add tasks in mobile. So those were some of the challenges. So one problem we're having is like I have to use multiple tools. I used to set my tasks there, and to track that time, how much time they worked on what, I had to again copy the task and set it over there. So I was juggling multiple tools. Now the second problem we are facing is we are paying high fees to both the tools. On Jira we're paying about $10 per user per month, and here again we're paying about $8 per user per month actually.
A typical
So
SaaS pricing.
yeah, typical SaaS pricing. So we're
Yeah.
paying about $18 per user per month actually. So now if you look at TeamTrace platform, we give more than that at something for which we were paying about $8 per month. We are $18 per month. We are giving that for, and that too if I pay annually. If you pay monthly, that rate goes over 20 actually.
Yeah.
So and that we are now bringing around $7 per user per month. So
And
about one third of the cost actually.
and tell us, so TeamTrace is a fully fledged work and productivity management platform now, born out of the need or the pain to use Jira and Asana. This product has now become a competitor
Yeah.
to Jira and Asana. Tell us a little bit about the adoption of this tool, how it is being received,
Mhm.
and some future plans for TeamTrace.
Sure. So we have customers across the globe. So primarily now we are focusing on the Indian market because Indian market has been our testing water and testing ground, and the adoption has been great. So we have between since 2023 and now we have over 300 customers, and most of them are paying customers. So one unique thing about is we have, I don't say we have a funnel, we have a barrel. Like if a customer kind of sees the demo of the product, they buy it.
They are sold. They are sold. Yeah.
They
Mm.
sold. So that has been the kind of experience we have, given the price point and then given the kind of features we have. So you can essentially think of it as a Jira Asana plus ClickUp kind of thing, like multiple products amalgamated into a single platform. Actually, the advantage we had is like we have a developer firepower. Like we have a lot of developer in house, and we leverage that firepower to build up the product quickly. And any request that comes in, we can easily kind of do that. Actually, so again, again this interesting question about belief. Actually, so when I told my guys that we are going to compete with Jira, they were like, "What? Jira is a $2 billion company, this, that, Atlassian, mane, ato boro company." I said, you look at the interface, you put things side by side, forget everything, just look at it and the product by like side by side as product. Forget the revenue, forget the brand. You just put the product side by side and have a look at what do you think. So guys said, oh yeah, I mean, product wise we are great, we are good, but what about the next? I said, yeah, rest of the thing is all about branding, marketing, promotions, getting outside, and yeah, getting it validated, maybe at the west, maybe in the US, maybe in Canada, and all those things actually. So yeah, I mean, we have been getting phenomenal response actually in Team Chess. Yeah. Yeah.
And one thing very interesting that I am able to understand, hopefully rightly, that you are also not just the creators of this product, but also power users of your own product.
Right.
So immediate feedback, immediate improvements
Yeah.
can be made.
So with
And
Teampress,
yeah,
yeah, that is very true. With Teampress, that is very true because we use internally so Codelogicx uses internally. We come to office only once a week. Like the rest of the people, they come to our office once a week. They're working from home, and we ask my. So it has helped as an organization to be very optimized. So I tell others like the same real estate, you can have 5x more people if you just adopt Teampress.
yeah. And the second part about the SaaS model is, uh, how do I say this? If you are able to prove in the Indian market, the use case, I think adoption across the world becomes so much easier because the Indian customers, at least little that I have seen in my career, are the toughest customers in terms of expectations from a product. They
Right.
want flexibility, and they also want control. They want great UI UX, but they also want high level encryption, high level security. So if you're able to prove it in this market and gain customers, then building for use cases outside India in the European market or the US market becomes that much easier for you. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you missed the third part, like at an affordable cost.
At an affordable cost, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's the third part, actually. Like what you said. Yeah, I mean, once you ever are able to like tackle these three scenarios, it becomes selling to outside companies like to US or Europe much easier. In fact, we will be hiring, like we are planning to hire our first sales people in US and Europe for US and Canada for TeamTrace actually. So that's in plans at the moment. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, India, like as a customer base, they are very demanding and they need a lot of flexibility. At the same time, the pricing you have to have like manage within their expectation. And if you are able to work this out, like any company, you can survive anywhere in the world. Yeah, that's true.
And I think I don't know if you will agree, but there are some examples in the SaaS space of Indian companies doing great. So Zoho is one,
Yeah.
which has sort of turned around the whole paradigm on its head. It's creating new products and new verticals every day. Freshworks also, to an extent, now obviously it's more US centric, but it also evolved in a similar manner. I was fortunate enough to work with Darwin Box, which is an HR tech
Yeah.
player, again building from India, now going global. I think there is so much credibility now in the Indian product companies, which was not there before. When it was considered mainly an IT services country,
Country.
exporting IT services, but now over the last 10 years, this whole, I would say, viewpoint has changed with very strong, fundamentally strong Indian product companies making their presence on the global stage. Just a little bit from your perspective of being in the same ecosystem, how do you see this change?
Yeah, I mean that's true. Yeah, Freshels is registered in New York. Yeah, but Girish used to work in Zoho, I believe. Yeah. Um, so yeah, I think from SaaS point of view, even if you look at Postman, like it's now they have now moved to San Francisco. Yeah, the acceptability of Indian products have like SaaS platforms has increased a lot actually, and but what we also need to see is like the product quality and the product maturity has also increased a lot. So we are now
Hmm.
building a lot more mature products which can compete with the like Western products. So at the end of the day, people see apple to apple, like how are these products, like where are they coming from, that matters later on maybe, but what they see is how the features are like managing, like mapping to each other, compared to each other. So yeah, I see definitely, like as you said, like there is a much more uptick in terms of acceptability of Indian SaaS platforms in a global market, and I think this will continue to grow. India, I think, yeah, it's going to become a SaaS powerhouse going down the line, because of like one of the reason is we have a very strong tech young population and tech capabilities. So yeah, that's there.
Um, Amitabh, I know we had said budgeted 1 hour, and we'll try to do justice to that commitment. Uh, you know, Today you are managing these three companies, three very different, obviously, product lines. Uh, how, and obviously you mentioned that you have started giving a lot more ownership, accountability, responsibility to senior team members. Uh, how do you see these three companies grow over the next 3 to 5 years? What are the growth plans, geographically, product wise, team size wise? How are you seeing the journey ahead?
So I'll start with Codelogicx. So I don't know whether so Codelogicx we recently registered in New Jersey, and we also have like a base in Saudi Arabia in Riyadh, and we also have registered company in UK. So right now the goal is like we said like to the team we have to grow 10x from 150 people to 1500 people in next couple of years, ideally before 2030. So that's the kind of immediate goal, and if things goes well, maybe 15,000, who knows actually. So that's the immediate kind of goal we have for Codelogicx. And I guess you also know we have a building coming up in Bengal, Silicon Valley. It's a G+9 building coming up. Yeah. So what we have envisioned is like one of the floor will be a startup accelerator where we'll help startups from Kolkata and Bengal or surrounding areas to kind of will provide them with technical support and other expertise that we have actually. So yeah, that's the plan with Codelogicx that we have. With TeamTrace, what we have planned to do is, yeah, we plan to go global. So definitely, we have big plans, and as I said, we are planning to hire a marketing team in North America for TeamTrace actually. And one of the things we have been doing with TeamTrace is expanding our channel partnership because a lot of growth comes from channel partners actually. So going down the line, what I see with TeamTrace is definitely a productivity management platform plus a project management platform. But also there will be like two use cases. One is the business use case where you have the portfolio management, risk management, and then all those enterprise like business process management suite. On the other hand, you have the development things like the tech things like managing pipelines, managing your GitHub, Bitbucket, AWS, cost control, and all those things actually. So I think at one point of time, this product will diverge into two separate products. One addressing the business side of project management, and one addressing the technical engineering side of the project management. So
Very
yeah, I
interesting.
mean, yeah. With 360, yeah, we have plans to like as I said, like we launched in Bhubaneswar, so that's the next city we did. We are planning to cover 10 city by mid of next year. So let's see how it goes. We are also planning to take it global, like in North America. So in US, you have a lot of retirement homes in Florida and all those things actually. So I'm still working that out, like how it works out because the product positioning has to be very different there actually. So
Yeah.
and yeah, from revenue perspective that will be much more interesting because it's much more going to be much better there hopefully actually. So yeah, so that's the kind of thing we have planned with team 360.
Wonderful. Uh, Amitabh, now we'll come to probably my favorite part of every podcast. Obviously, the entire podcast is great for my learning and for our viewers.
Mhm.
But what interests me most, and this is the part I keep for the last, is to l- ask our guest what is their take on Kolkata. And you built and scaled from Kolkata, going global. Uh, why did you never leave Kolkata? You've sort of answered that, like, do I really need to leave? Just like you said, do I really need to raise funding?
Yeah.
So you've taken the practical call, but to build a, as I was talking about in the headline, to build a global product company out of Kolkata. How do you see Kolkata, the overall ecosystem, the tech ecosystem, the startup ecosystem? What is going good? What is it still lacking? If you can share a little bit about your perspective about the Kolkata ecosystem.
Okay. So for the city infrastructure, I think it has got a lot of things right. As I said earlier, like power, water, the cost of living, the transportation. These are the infrastructure matters. Like when you're starting, like if your client is if you have a VC coming in and they can't visit you, so that's a problem. They're waterlogged and they can't visit you, so that's a problem. So I think a lot of infrastructure the city has got right. We also have some government schemes that are supportive, like Webel. They support a lot of entrepreneurs. So and I really wish they build more IT parks across some of the like high consumption cities like Kolkata, Asansol, Durgapur. We would love to see more IT parks there. And one of the other advantage we have is the like the Greater
Amitabh,
Kolkata.
sorry to interrupt. There is a ticking noise. Now it stopped. Okay, perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
please go on.
Okay. So, one of the thing again, the advantage we have is the Greater Kolkata has the highest density of human population in the world. Apart, I think it's second to Manila actually, and we have a lot of engineering colleges, some of the great talents coming out of the colleges actually, and smart talents actually, and we have some great institutions here that we can really tap into. So these are the things I would say. Really, if you look at it, they work for an entrepreneur who can do his own product engineering. For someone who can do his own product design for own product engineering, who needs a team who can guide the team like that. This is how it needs to be done. Kolkata just has the right set of things, and people are here with commitment. So yeah, that works for the city.
And to sort of probe you a little bit, what can be improved?
So, I mean, if we can stop spreading negativity, that might help better. I don't know why people do this. It's not just for Kolkata. Even I have seen like people who leave India and settle overseas, they do that for about India. So I don't think it helps. If you see the city, it has a lot of good things, a lot of nice infrastructure, and I think Bengalis are a lot vocal about negative things and tend to
Yeah.
amplify that a lot more and try kind of end up shooting their own foot actually. So that's what I kind of feel what we're doing at the moment actually. And if we can do less of that, that might help, and rather focus on see what how you can contribute to building the city. I think John F. Kennedy said, "Don't think what America can do for you. Think what you can do for America." So the same goes here. Think what you can do for Bengal. Don't think what Bengal can do for you. So I never came with an expectation that I'll get land from the Bay for the Bengal Silicon Valley, or I'll get a building in the Webble IT Park. We just came here. I just started my work here, and it happened. So I'd say, start thinking about what you can give to the city or to the state, and then let it figure it out actually from there.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of the thing is the negativity. If we can do better. The second thing we need is more investor with long-term risk capital appetite, and investors who are willing to nurture startup for enough to help the ecosystem grow, not just from the profit motive. Just we need to get this up and running, and this needs sacrifice. So that's one why I said in Codelogicx, when the building comes up, we are going to have a one floor entirely dedicated to startup, and we are going to bear a lot of those some of the expenses, but that's needed when you need the city to grow, the startup culture to grow. So you need to put something that you can actually. So yeah, if we have more, I know some people are doing like a lot for the startups, like a lot of investments and all those things. We need a lot more to do that actually. So for me, if I see things actually, the kind of capital the founders in Bangalore gets,
Mhm.
if the same capital startup founder from any tier two city got, the investors would have many more its return than Bangalore startup would have given it.
Yeah.
And I think that there are some of the rational funds like the Zerodha fund. They are investing a lot in tier two cities. One of them invested in Amodo. That's
Yeah.
a
Ogni has
company.
been on this. Ogni has been on this podcast.
Okay.
The Rain Matter Fund. Yeah.
Rain matter, yeah. They are upstairs hours actually in the
Okay.
same. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that helps actually. So we need to have a lot more patient capital. And one thing, if we can tap into to the Bengali diaspora overseas more actively, more proactively, and we really need to go to them and kind of tell them that you need to kind of contribute here actually. So if that can be done, I think that would help a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think this is very heartening to hear because, as you rightly said, there is this overall perception of negativity. The narrative is always very doom and gloom in Kolkata.
Mhm.
Uh, and in our little way, we try to amplify the positive stories through our
Mhm.
community page and hope that reaches many more people. Uh,
Mhm.
Amitabh, your words obviously, do inspire because you have not expected that things will be handed over to you.
Yeah.
You did not come with that entitlement mindset. Okay, oh, what will you give me in the city? Will you give me a job? Will you give me a land? Will you give me a high-paying job like Bangalore? You did not come with those expectations. You built and carved your own way, and whatever you sort of told us on this journey, whether it was Codelogicx, TeamTrace, the 360, you learned on the job, right?
Yeah.
You did not come with this background in knowledge in business administration, funding, business, financials. You learned all of it on the job. So now, from your journey, if you had to share a couple of learnings over this 10-15 year career, and obviously many more to go, but 10-15 year old journey that you've had as an entrepreneur, as a founder, what would those learnings be? That's part one. And what would you say to encourage young founders, young entrepreneurs who are at the cusp of starting their journey, maybe in Kolkata, maybe beyond?
Okay. So for myself, I think one of the most influential thing Sir Richard Branson said, like, if you get a fantastic opportunity but don't know how to kind of do it, just say yes and figure it out later on. I think that has been a great thing, like because I take risks, and when I see a fantastic opportunity but I don't know how to do it, I know I'll figure it out. I know I'll go on Google. I know I'll kind of go on internet, and so that has been one of the big learning. The second learning is you need to chew in your ego. So that is a big problem, and for bongs it can be bigger problem actually. So and if you can tune your ego and can work with people, you will go a long way. So that's something I learned. The third thing is you need to constantly read and educate yourself. I mean, it's not that like that only employees need to upgrade themselves. You as an entrepreneur, you as a business owner, people lives depend on you. People's like their salaries depend on you. So you have a much more bigger responsibility to ensure the livelihood of people. So you need to, apart from your work, you need to be ready to understand where the world is going, which direction the technology is going. So you need to upgrade yourselves more aggressively than your employees need to upgrade the technology or skill set. So that would I say for them. For me, these are the kind of biggest learnings that I would say. Uh, for startup founders who are just on cusp of starting their thing is don't just build for the sake of building. Talk to customers. I mean, first figure out why you're building, and at the end of the day, there has to be a market for it. You have to have someone pay for it. So the basics of business, don't forget that actually. So building a good product is not the end.
Mhm.
Marketing is equally more important actually. So and being patient is a virtue. You have to be very patient, and what you also need to know is every day is not going to be same. There will be many days when you see you lost a client, your demo got rejected, you showed a demo, it did not happen, the demo failed. Those you need to understand that happens to everyone actually, and you need to just take it and just keep moving on. It's not the end of the world actually. I kind of felt that many times একদম একদম ক্রিটিক্যাল সময়েই জিনিসটা কাজ করা বন্ধ করে দিল, হ্যাঁ, আর শেষ। সো
মার্ফিজ লাও বলো, যাই বলো, হ্যাঁ।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ so that happens to everybody. Yeah, the frustrations are part of any startup journey. So that's there. So you need to so the ability to be persistent, যে
Mhm.
ওটাতে লেগে থাকা আর কি, আর being able to uh, get back when there is a like when you fall down, being able to get up and again walk, that's very important আর কি. not to give up আর কি, ঠিক আছে? And you should approach peers. আমাদের অনেক ফাউন্ডার্সরা কি হয়, যারা they are shy and they fear that they fear seeking advice. আমার নিজে ব্যক্তিগত নিজের আমার যেটা ইয়ে ছিল problem, I am not a very outgoing person, so I never used to seek advice. So my advice to young founders, especially who are very introvert, is don't not hold back. You need to seek out advice. You need to reach out to people you think can solve your issues, or at least guide you whether you're doing it right or not. So reach out. And then যেটা আমি নিজেকেও বলি ওদেরকেও বলবো, never stop learning. That is very important actually. That is very important for you to keep yourself updated. Yeah.
Wonderful. And all many hard learned lessons through your own experience, Amitabh, that you shared. So thank you so much.
Sure.
Amitabh, I will, try to now close the podcast because we've already exceeded 1 hour.
Yep.
And I know how sometimes I feel very guilty of taking 1 hour away from a startup founder, an entrepreneur's day, especially a Sunday. But really, really thank you so much
Yeah.
for kindly agreeing to do this. Before we close the podcast, Amitabh, your message for Kolkata, Kolkatans, or Kolkata calling. With that, we'll close the podcast.
So first, for Kolkata calling, I think you're doing a great job. Making out this initiative, taking this initiative to promote this thing. We need a lot of more initiatives like this, and you are doing a great job. I will, yeah. It's only because people like you are there. People like organizations like you that we need to put forward a more. What's the good news that's happening? So newspaper jodi roji death, robbery, murder news ashe tahle, then there's no point of reading the newspaper actually. So you people are doing a great job on this. To Kolkatans, I would say, and the city, start believing in yourself, and start believing in yourself that you can do world-class thing from here. Actually, you don't need to migrate to Bangalore or Hyderabad to be able to do things, maybe for job. But if you want to start things, if you want to build things, you can do it here. Nothing is stopping you from doing that. In fact, you have many advantages that you won't find there actually. And to Kolkatans or Bengali peoples or peoples here actually, I'd say don't let be supportive of the startup founders. Help them in product adoption, adopt the products. আজকে যদি নিজের ঘরেই প্রোডাক্টটা বিক্রি করতে না পারি তাহলে বাইরে তো ছেড়েই দিন আর কি. So if a startup founder is building something in Kolkata, you Kolkatans should be the first to adopt that product. If you do that, you will be doing a great service to the startup community and to the city itself as a whole actually, towards building a startup culture in the city. Yeah, that would be my message, I guess. Yeah.
Wonderful. Amitabh, thank you so much. I think your story is as you gave, lessons on it, but you embody that lessons in persistence, resilience, being contrarian, believing in yourself. A lot of that, sort of embodies in your journey and the 3 successful companies that you've started. Codelogicx, TeamTrace, The360. Will encourage startup founders or young entrepreneurs listening to this podcast to feel free to reach out to Amitabh. Codelogicx is something that you can use for your startups. TeamTrace is something you can use for your organization, and the 360 is something you can use for your institution, complex, etc. So as he rightly said, we first need to appreciate what is built here. কারণ আমাদের যেটা আমরা দেখি না যে বাইরে ক্রিটিক্যাল অ্যাক্লেম পেলে বা বাইরে অ্যাকসেপ্টেড হলে তখন বলি আমরা ট্রাই করে দেখতে পারি, কিন্তু সেটা যে তোমার বাড়ির পাশেই তৈরি হয়েছে সেটা আমরা অনেক পরে রিয়েলাইজ করি. So that's the I guess closing message from our side. Please do follow Hello Kolkata and Kolkata Calling. We'll try to bring more such inspirational guests and share their journeys with our audience. Amitabh, with that, thank you so much for taking the time, and really pleasure talking to you.
Sure. Thank you for me having on the show. All right. Thank you. Bye.